Yes, I am a vampire. Not that I ever planned on it, wanted it, or still want it now that I am one. According to Raminus Paulus from the Arcane University, I have to go and see the Count of Skingrad as he has information about how to get cured. I see no choice but to do this now. If I do not, then I might as well get used to being a vampire. According to my studies, though, a vampire has to feed, or his traits become more obvious to all around. So if I must do so to continue to rid myself of this disease, then so be it. I will target some beggars around the cities, or even in the Imperial City. I may be spreading this disease by doing so, but I am looking out for myself here. If I hear of any vampires in the cities, then I will gladly kill them, even if they were the ones that I created myself. Life must go on, and I am pretty important to saving Tamriel from Maroon's Dagon, and considering that I don't quite care about anyone who isn't Vilya or Martin, and maybe Fergus. Oh, and now that I'm a blade, I should count them as well. Laurus was a good fellow, who looked out for the Emperor, Uriel Septim, as well as myself. I also appreciate Joffrey, the captain of the Blades. Whatever I have to do, I will do it. The undead and Molag Bal are filthy, nasty things that I do not want any part of. Yes, I could technically live until someone cures or destroys me, but that is not the kind of life that I want to live. I don't want to hide in the night and feed on people. Always worried about being seen or caught or hunted down, I can never be myself or free to wander about the countryside during the day to pick out chemical ingredients, which I love to do. I have other things in my life that I would like to do, such as perhaps one day be close to my companion, Vilya. Being a vampire would ruin all of that. Made it to Skingrad. Where's the castle Skingrad? I wonder if that's separate from the city. I don't remember. It might very well be. But it's showing on my map, it might very well be outside. Okay.
Good to see you.
Hello? I'm not burning right now. It's getting a little painful.
To what do I owe this pleasure?
I see is a temple. Some Oblivion Gate is nearby. Yeah, I don't think it's here. I think it's on the outside. Where's this it over here? Is this the entrance I came in and the bridge is right over top of it? It's here. Maybe this is where the castle is.
When I was staying in
Morning, Glory.
Skingrad, Gunder of Colombian traders tried to teach me how to kiss. Ha! I taught him how to smack somebody very hard in the face.
Okay. Is it? Hello?
We're here to help.
Can you tell me about Skingrad?
I'll be honest. That Oblivion Gate out there scares me. And believe me, nobody that works in the Skingrad Guard scares easily.
Heard any good rumors lately?
Urus the Shepherd sure does take care of his sheep. And boy, does he like cheese. I mean, he really likes cheese.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Take care.
This just leads outside, but maybe. Maybe this is the path to the Count's castle. Would seem to be. Yes, I suppose I just forgot about this. Been quite a few years since I've been here. Hello?
Sir?
Hey.
Bye.
wonder what the Count is like. This is Castle
I must
Skingrad.
really get to a healer. Go ahead.
Oh, this is just the courtyard. We have to go in and see if... I mean, it's late, but maybe he'll still see me. I'm at Castle Skingrad. I'm here to see the Count over my vampirism issue. I don't know if it's too late. I can't really come out during the day. Well, I can if I want to suffer. There's nobody here. Oh. Hello.
What can I do for
What
you?
are you doing hiding in the corner here? Directions.
What are you looking for?
Well... Okay, you're just gonna tell me about the town, huh? I don't need to know anything. I know about it.
The smith out.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
Be seen.
So I'll have to track down the Count on my own. Is that him? Or maybe a relative? You're dressed too elegant to be traveling across the countryside, Vilya. Ooh. This... I suppose we could wait till the day.
I wonder if I'm about to catch a cold.
Oh, you're actually in danger of catching something much worse than that. Vampirism, if you're going to be around me. I don't want to have to wait for the daytime, but it's locked. Unless I call Fergus. I guess I could always do that. Everything's locked. Locked. What do you know of this place?
Wouldn't it be nice to just talk a little, you and I?
Alright, tell me about yourself.
It is strange. For such a long time I have been homesick. I have longed to go back to Morrowind. I have longed for my friends and my sister. I wanted to go home, but I was ashamed. I left my sister and ran after Cyrodiil like an idiot for the sake of a man who didn't really love me. Strangely, things have changed now. Since I met you, I no longer feel like a lonely and homesick outcast.
Oh, that's good to hear.
You have made me see Cyrodiil with new eyes. I have started to appreciate the beauty and the atmosphere of this country. To be honest, I am so glad that you are here with me, and I hope that our friendship will last for a very long time to come.
I feel the same way. Our friendship will last forever, I'm sure of it.
Do you really think so? Oh, I so much want to believe that as well. I don't have words for how much this means to me.
Such a sweet voice. Do you want to talk for a little while?
Of course. Is there anything in particular that you would like to discuss?
Can you tell me your thoughts on this place?
I've heard some strange stories about Count Hassildor. I'm sure they couldn't be true, though.
What? I've actually heard some strange things, too. He's never seen during the day. He knows the cure for vampirism, which makes me think that maybe... What did the Raminus Polis at the Mages Guild say? His wife didn't want it? Well, I don't remember. Well, I don't know where to go, what to do, and everything's locked. Well, I don't exactly feel tired. I slept during the day. Now is when I go out and prey upon victims, normally. I suppose we'll just wait. Vilya's gonna get tired, though. I have books to read to keep me busy. How about the book I've been holding on for a while, The Warp in the West, which deals with my homeland, High Rock. The Warp in the West, a report compiled by Ulvius Terro, Blade's archivist. Secret for your eyes only. Oh, that's interesting. Not that long of a book. Fair size, though. Let me offer my congratulations to your lordship for your recent appointment as ambassador to the court of Wayrest. Your lordship asked me for a review of existing Blades accounts from 3rd Era 417 concerning the Warp in the West, and for a summary of the current state of affairs there. Since your lordship was in Blackmarsh, serving in the staff of Admiral Sosorius at the time, you probably know of these events only from imperial proclamations and chapel declarations, which identify this period as the Miracle of Peace. During the Miracle of Peace, according to official accounts, the formerly war-racked Iliac Bay region was transformed overnight from a patchwork of squabbling duchies and petty kingdoms into the peaceful modern counties of Daggerfall, Sentinel, Wayrest, and Orsinium. Yes, and the... It's not even here. It's North Point. But I don't think it's called that anymore. Anyways, the Miracle Peace, also known as the Warp in the West, is celebrated as the product of the miraculous inventions of Stendar, Mara, and Akatosh to transform this troublesome region into peaceful, well-governed imperial counties. The catastrophic destruction of landscape and property and the large loss of life attending upon this miracle is understood to have been tragic and beyond mortal comprehension. Yes, my father died in the war to consolidate all these places, and it wasn't from the Miracle of Peace, which was some kind of huge magical event, apparently. No, it was North Point. The Duke of North Point came down and killed my father. Yeah, the King of North Point, actually. Or was it the Duke? I don't remember. Inasmuch as this account confirms and validates the current borders of these counties and identifies the rulers and boundaries of these counties as ordained by the Nine, the Miracle of Peace serves imperial objectives of peaceful consolidation of ancient petty states and sovereigns into manageable imperial jurisdictions. The other remarkable features of these events, mass disappearances, armies mysteriously transported hundreds of miles or completely annihilated, titanic storms, and celestial phenomenon, apparent local discontinuities of time, fit comfortably into the notion that these events are part of a vast, mysterious divine intervention. However, this is only the public account of these events, and as you may suspect, it conflicts with many other accounts. In short, while this explanation suits imperial policy, it has little historical validity. Your lordship should know that the Blades have concluded that there is no plausible historical account of these events, and despairs that a plausible historical account shall ever be produced. The Blades have concluded that a miracle occurred, insofar as the events are inexplicable, but the Blades strongly doubt the miracle was of divine origin. There is good reason to believe that the ruling families of the four modern Iliac Bay counties had forewarning of the event. There's also some evidence that some of these ruling families may have been directly or indirectly responsible for the event. We do not know the exact sequence of actions that produced the event, although we are confident that the totem artifact was involved, and that a Blades agent was involved in employing that artifact. We unfortunately lost contact with that agent immediately after the event. His report may have gone some way to resolving the contradictory and paradoxical accounts of the event. The Blades, this is a bit of a dry reading. The Blades have on file few reports from agents dating from the Warp in the West period. Most of our agents were lost in the initial dislocations, and others were lost in the confusion after the event. I present a few of these reports to give you a general sense of their limitations, including the report of your diplomatic predecessor, Lord Strail. You will have had access to other private and rumored accounts of the period. I believe you will agree that these documents raise more questions than they answer. The report from Hammerfell Agent Briar Bird. I was on assignment in the Alikir Desert a few miles south of Bergama on the 9th of Frostfall. I was encamped, as it was still early morning, when I felt the ground shake so violently I was thrown to the ground. Dazed, I was aware of a great roar of a sandstorm, which alarmed me, as I had been on a high dune and had seen nothing like that on the horizon. It was on me before I was even on my knees, burying me in my camp. When I crawled my way out of the sand, I realized that I must make haste and get to Bergama as soon as possible, as all my food and water had been swept away. The sun was just rising as I began. Like I said, when I reached Bergamo, it was nightfall. The town was in chaos, filled with the soldiers of Sentinel. The Lord of Bergamo's fortress was in ruins. There had been an attack, but no one had seen it, only the invasion that followed it. The soldiers of Queen Orithi of Sentinel refused to be interviewed about how they had accomplished this sneak attack, but I came to learn that the whole of northern Hammerfell now belonged to them. Even stranger, I discovered that my walk from sunrise to sundown had not taken me not one day, but two. It was now the 11th day of the month, not the 10th. I had lost a day somewhere, and so apparently had everyone else. Except for Al-Karithi's soldiers, who somehow were aware of the correct date. I since have concluded that they had received advance warning, and so were better prepared to deal with the strange confusion of time and dates associated with the warp. The report of High Rock agent Grey Lady. I was, at the time of the warp, undercover as a witch in the Skeffington Coven of Phrygius in central High Rock. In order to give my report, I had volunteered for an expedition to gather supplies, which would allow me the freedom to reach my contact in Camlorn. I was traveling northeast along the foothills of the Rothgarian Mountains on the 9th of Frostfall when I felt a great heat behind me, like a fire. I turned, but I regret to say I cannot tell you what I saw. The healers tell me my eyes were burned out of my sockets. Oh. I think I must have fallen into a state of semi-consciousness, for I distinctly remember falling as the ground seemed to give way beneath me. Then there was a series of explosions in the distance, to the south, and I heard high, whistling noises that were getting louder, coming closer. I had my shield with me, and, fortunately, anticipated that volleys of some sort were falling from the sky. Though I could not see them, I could hear them coming from a distance away, and was able to use my shield to block them from striking me. The assault stopped suddenly, and I can smell smoke. I learned later that most of the forests of Yakalon and Phrygius had caught on fire, in an inferno that started further south in Daena and the Elysian Hills. Fortunately, I kept my bearings and moved north, finally reaching a temple in the wilderness where my wounds were healed as well as they could be. It was there I learned that there had been a three-way clash between Daggerfall, Wayrest, and Orsinium, not far from where I had been, and that the land midway between their kingdoms had been decimated. The report of Ambassador Lord Nagon Strail. His Imperial Majesty had sent me on a delicate errand, the details of which I cannot convey in this insecure report, but my official capacity was to be the Emperor's ambassador to the court of Wayrest. From there, I was to meet with an old friend, Lady Brisenia, who was already in the vicinity. Foregoing any attempt at stealth, I was on an imperial barge, sailing westward on the Julesay, the morning of the 9th of Frostfall. I remember it was a slightly chilly day, but the sky was very blue. We had just passed the delightful riverside village of Candlemas when the captain sounded the alarm. Alarm? What is the alarm? I assumed they meant alarm. There in front of us was a colossal wall of water, at least 30 feet high. It smashed our barge to splinters before any of us had a chance to react. I woke up on the shore, having been rescued by one of my servants who had miraculously not lost consciousness. He and I and one other man were the only survivors. I thought at first that it was suspiciously similar to what had happened to another agent of ours in High Rock but a short time before, where a freak storm had shipwrecked him in the Iliac Bay near Privateer's Hold. Furious and determined to see if similar forces were at work, I began a quick march to Wayrest. The march, however, was not so terribly quick. The villages all along the Julesay were on fire, and battles raged between the orcs of Orsinium and the soldiers of King Eadwire in the formerly independent principality of Gavadon, just east of Wayrest. I am an accomplished mage and quite able to defend myself, but it took the better part of a week to make it those few miles to Wayrest. King Eadwire and his queen Baron Zaya were celebrating their great victories when I arrived. By then I had gathered the barest facts of the matter, that simultaneously there were 7 great battles in the Iliac Bay, and no one could describe them at all, only their blood-soaked aftermath. That is very strange. To summarize, on the 9th of Frostfall, there had been 44 independent kingdoms, counties, baronies, and dukedoms surrounding the Iliac Bay. If one includes the unconquered territories of the Rothgarian Mountains, the Dragontail Mountains, the High Rock Seacoast, the Isle of Balfiera, and the Alakir Desert. On the 11th of Frostfall, there were but 4, Daggerfall, Sentinel, Wayrest, and Orsinium, and all the points where they met lay in ruins as the armies continued to do battle. I was determined to find the truth from the king, even if I had to be a most undiplomatic diplomat to do it. Eadwire, though a generally jovial sort, had blustered, saying he did not want to give out military secrets. The queen, ever calm with those unreadable red eyes of hers, told me, "We do not know." I think it is safe to assume that Baronzaya did not tell me everything, but the facts of her story, which I later verified after pointed interviews in Daggerfall, Sentinel, and Orsinium, was that they had learned that a certain powerful, ancient weapon was going to be activated. I shan't give the name of it here, out of fear that it would be used against Wayrest. The king had attempted to buy it from the young adventurer who had discovered its whereabouts. Eadwire believed, as it turns out quite rightly, that other powers in the Bay had also attempted to win ownership of this device. What happened then, as Baronzaya said, we do not know. The morning of the 9th and the morning of the 11th somehow merged through some sort of warp in the west, and Wayrest found themselves at war. Their land had expanded threefold, and they were under attack by Daggerfall to the west, Orsinium to the east, and Sentinel to the south. There had been no time to understand what had happened. The king said they had simply reacted, sending their armies to defend their lands against these enemies, whose kingdoms had also gained great territorial advantage. The battles continue on, now months later, as I return to the Imperial City to make my report. Oh, what more do I have to say? There are bloody, violent clashes, as is always the case with modern warfare. But I have been to the blackened, desolate no-man's land between the 4 remaining kingdoms. No mortal army caused that devastation. I can say that the force that shook the Iliac Bay on the 10th of Frostfall 3rd Era 417 was infinitely greater than the power these mighty kingdoms are wielding today. I can say that there were other strange events on that day which kept the kingdoms from breaking free of the Empire and accomplished likely more besides. And I can say that there is nothing left of it. This power, this weapon in the Bay, the warp that it created swallowed it up. Current political affairs in the Iliac Bay, almost 20 years have passed, and the region, though transformed, has stabilized. There are no more disputed territories, and the kingdoms of Daggerfall, Wayrest, Sentinel, and Orsinium hold the new borders in relative peace. Wayrest spreads across the eastern coast of the bay, stretching from the land formerly called Anticlear to half of Gavadon. Eadwire has passed on to his ancestors, leaving his kingdom in the hands of his daughter, Elisana, who has 2 children by her royal consort and seems likely to hold her father's lands. Your lordship may also choose to communicate directly with King Helseth and Queen Baronzaya in Mournhold. Their primary preoccupations are, of course, with Morrowind's affairs, but they may still have useful observations upon Wayrest's ruling families and political environment that may aid you in your understanding of the court of Queen Elisana. King Gottwort of Orsinium controls much of the Rothgarian Mountains as well as the profitable river coast of the Julesay. He persists in his demands that Orsinium be recognized as an imperial province separate from High Rock. I don't think he should be granted that. The Elder Council treats Gottwort as a recognized king and collects taxes directly from Orsinium, but officially Orsinium remains a county of High Rock, though technically it spans both the provinces of High Rock and Hammerfell. Sentinel has gained the most land, sprawling across the entire southern Iliac Bay from Abibon Gora, beyond the Dragontail Mountains to the edge of Mornoth, Orsinium's territory. Queen Akorithi, at her death, left her numerous kingdom to her only surviving son, Lotan, who is now surely one of the most powerful kings in Tamriel. Daggerfall is still ruled by the Breton king, Gothrid, and the Redguard queen, Abukai. Their land now encompasses all of western High Rock, from the border they share with Wayrest at Anticlears to the east, to Yakalon to the north. They have 4 children now, and are much beloved in their realm. If there are other repercussions of the mysterious warp in the west, they have not yet come to our attention in the course of 20 years of observation. Well, that should have passed some time. Oh, just wait. The night drags on, and I decided that we should at least go do something instead of just waiting inside. So I figure that Shade Leaf Copse is nearby, where all that Nernroot is supposed to be. I think that's probably a good place to go. And it is to the kind of northeast of here. Northeast. Oblivion gates everywhere. There's one here, there's one on the other side of Skingrad. Just too many of them. Okay, Shadeleaf Copse is off the beaten path, this way.
I'm so glad that we are companions. I can't imagine what it would have been like traveling so deep.
Sorry, Villia, I can't hear you. Looks like a gate is right nearby, or is that this... Daylight can't be upon me already. Oh, this must be it. I hear the Nernroot. And to my left. There's another one over here. Another one over there. There's a bear there.
Don't scare me!
That elven armor looks pretty good on you. Just need an elven helm for you to wear. Wow, that's... was what? 4 Nernroot? He said I need 20 next time I see him. How much have I collected? 15. Far from 20, but 15 is somewhat close. I'm definitely not going to close an Oblivion gate while we wait. We could probably go back now, and maybe wait the last few hours. There's a town nearby. This Broken Promises Cave is where Strantius' necklace is supposed to be. Ironically, Strantius lives in Coral. Had to go to Shadenhall to speak to... what was her name? Brunhilde or something? For me to tell me that the necklace is left in Broken Promises Cave. Anyways, we'll return to Skingrad and wait. At least I was able to get out and do something instead of just sitting there the whole time.
You wanted to talk to me?
Normally I can sit and read, but I'm very stressed with this vampirism issue, and I feel it's only getting worse as the time goes on, despite me not feeding on anyone. Well, let's return.
We can't talk here.
Huh?
Too public. Meet me behind the great chapel at midnight. Don't let anyone follow you. I'll make it worth your while.
Who are you? Is that Glarfor fool that people in town have been talking about? You just... don't even know what's going on. Midnight, huh? Well, a little late for that. Let's return to the keep. The castle. Ah, one of his, persons in his employ. Hello.
How about mixing up some potions? You look like quite the alchemist.
Greetings. Do you have business at Castle Skingrad?
I do. I can't believe that you're out so early. I must see the Count.
I'm afraid the Count does not see anyone without an approved appointment. Do you have an appointment?
That is not good for me. No, but it's about a cure for vampirism.
I see. Please, wait here one moment. I shall speak with the Count.
I hope he comes down. A little worried that this will all come to naught and I will have to be a vampire for the rest of my days.
Maybe we should pop in at the Mage's Guild while we are here.
Not a bad idea. Actually, I'd rather go to Bruma and see what they have
A little
to say.
bird told me that you've been asking around town about Glarther, a resident eccentric. I'd like to know why.
Glarther? I don't want anything to do with that crazy fool. He asked me to help him out.
Let me give you some advice. Glarther is crazy. So far, harmless crazy. But I keep an eye on him because it's my job to. You don't want to get involved with him. I don't care how much he's paying you. It isn't worth it.
Paying me, huh?
Like I said, he's crazy. Since you're courteous enough to tell the truth, I'll do the same by trusting you to talk to a guard if he asks you to do anything strange.
Maybe in the future, but I'm not going to deal with that fool right now. Hello?
Good morning, my friend. The Count will not see you now. Not now. Not ever. He sees no one. I'm Mercator Hositis, his steward. I believe that's all you need to know.
That is very damning. What can you tell me about Skingrad?
The Count has ordered the guard to defend the city to the last man. There will be no panic here.
Okay.
Take care.
Well, I'll still wait for him to come down. How long will I have to wait? Not seeing me, not now, not ever, huh? Well, one of his servants went up to speak to him. What shall we do, Vilya? Wait, I guess. She's returned.
Hello.
What did he say?
Please wait in the hall. The Count will be with you shortly.
Oh, good. I'll wait here until I waste away to nothing. I have to have this cure.
I understand you're looking for a cure for vampirism.
Ow, you just snuck
This is
up on me.
fortunate, as I also seek the cure.
Your eyes. I think you are a vampire. The rumors are true. I knew it. You are a vampire.
Curb your tongue, or I'll put you down myself.
We're both
I
vampires
wish to tell
here.
you a story, so that you might understand why I would trust you with my secrets. Would you hear it?
Go ahead, all right.
More than 50 years ago, my wife Rona and I were both turned into vampires. While I came to embrace the changes in myself, she did not. She hated what she had become and refused to feed to keep herself healthy. She eventually slipped into a coma from which she is not awoken. My trusted servants have cared for her all this time, but I wish for her to at last find peace. The cure is for her. I have researched what I can, but acquiring the cure is beyond my grasp. I cannot risk drawing too much attention to myself. So I would ask that you take up the search on my behalf. If you are successful, I will reward you in whatever small way I can. Will you aid me?
I would do anything for the cure of vampirism, short of killing Vilya, or the Emperor, or allowing Mehrunes Dagon or Molag Bal to take over Tamriel. Yes, I'll help. What do I need to do?
What little I have discovered points to the witches of Glenmoral. In the past, they have been capable of creating a cure.
Glenmoral witches.
I have searched for these witches throughout Cyrodiil, but no coven still exists within its borders. There may be one left. I have unconfirmed reports of a woman seen near the Corbolo River who fits the description of these witches. Seek her out and learn whether she can help. She lives somewhere along the river, east of the Imperial City and south of Cheydinhall.
South of Cheydinhall.
If you are successful in finding a cure, report to my steward. You have my thanks.
Anything else you can tell me about the cure for vampirism?
I've told you what I require from you. There is no more to say now. Speak with Howlers when you have found this woman. excuse me.
Okay, then. I guess that's settled. He's asking me to find the cure for vampirism. I should look for a woman in the wilderness along the Corbolo River, east of the Imperial City, south of Shadenhall. It's a bit of a trip. It's kind of nearby. It's between Shadenhall and Macamente. Okay, well, I know what we have to do. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.